This is
There's a lot of these places around
there. Kilcoy farmland.
Yeah, a guy around there used to like keep Aboriginal folk in cages, and so that they were for hunting, and he'd set them out and hunt them with the dogs, get his friends over, hunt the Aboriginals with the dogs and the horses, because they were set free from the cages.
Was he
he would, he'd already like slain and raped most of them.
Did he pay tax on?
He was supporting the colony.
He paid taxes, man.
Of course, he was supporting the colony. Yeah, he was an upstanding citizen. Well loved by his children.
It's all above board, mate. It's just business. You know?
If your family has lived in Australia, like and you can class a great grandparent in Australia, then you can guarantee.
I know I've got a lot of past, which is pretty. My family.
If you've got a great grandparent that lived in Australia,
to me, it's just like
then chances are, on some degree or not, they were either enslaving, raping, murdering, whatever. Like
it's fauna. It's fauna, bro. You don't worry. If you want to edit the fauna, then
it's
you
like
edit
hunting
the fauna.
feral cats. Put a trap out.
True.
Too much.
Like we said, man, this is what it blows my fucking mind. It blows my mind.
Yeah, and I think that Australia.
The history you don't get to know. That's the thing.
Australia,
you would never get taught that in
any
school,
comment Australia wants to make with racism,
it's all friendly and multicultural bullshit.
Because it's
but
not.
You want to know the
Australia
truth.
Has no position.
It's real fucking ugly, isn't it?
It's real ugly. Australia is really ugly. And what's different about Australia to America or South Africa or New Zealand and places like this, right? And even like Canada and that.
Well, where they broke away and they fucking decided to,
is that Australia's never had a reckoning. The racism here has never had a reckoning, man. It's never had a reckoning.
That's what the whole Simpsons fucking
Maoris,
analogy
that's one of the national languages.
And the big boot. That's what hasn't. They haven't done the big boot.
Yeah. Even in America, like you cannot say that the Native American folk have been treated well at any point in history by the incoming fuckers. But they are given. I'm not saying this is ideal or not, but they're at least given the right. They're the ones who control the casinos, except in Las Vegas, right? So just even that, even Aboriginal people from Australia don't even have that. Like they can't even sell booze and freaking gambling.
Well, I sort of in my own way support the women's art and Indigenous art because I love that stuff. But it is just fucking so original, and unique to each of the tribes too.
There is that,
just incredible.
So the Australian story, like the government has never had any issue. Like it's just nothing. Like so, it's weak. Australia's like relationship with like dealing with any kind of racism here is pathetic.
It's BS, man. It's true.
There's no. And
that's just
like it's in America.
It's like what real fucking talk
of like being abusive. Right? Like the slaves and stuff. It's not like they've got a great deal now, but like in terms of
and most of those would be economic slaves because obviously their families in other countries, they're fucking poor as shit, and they come over here so they can support their families and look after them and send some money home, and contribute to the Australian fucking economy as well. Yeah.
There would have been people with the Order of Australia, I would wager. Who were murderers and rapists.
Atrocities, Atrocities.
All right. Imagine bouncing on the knee as a small child of like a murderer and a rapist.
No, I can't.
Serial
I can't
killer.
imagine. And I would certainly hope that my grandma and my grandpa, other people that I've known in my life, were not involved in such things.
Yeah, but I would say that their parents. That's what I'm saying.
Because I had
your
friends at school who were Aboriginal and multicultural from different countries, and I wouldn't want any of those people and their families to. I mean, obviously, some of them came here to either get away from oppression,
you're away from your mic,
or just looking for a better life. In a lot of cases, right?
Yes, but they brought the evil with them.
They brought because it was in their culture or amongst those people's culture, not necessarily the culture itself, but individuals in there that had that like darkness in them, brother.
Yes,
the darkness to do shit where other people, other human beings aren't recognised, become born of, which is just fucking bullshit.
But just so you know, you're away from your mic, by the way.
I know, I'm purposely because I've got burgling religious noise going on in the background.
Yeah, man, it's like exactly, and like a real.
I didn't want to sound like I was, punching down the religion real hard,
reckoning. Like South Africa, that's a fucking reckoning, I'm not saying the reckoning leads to like sudden wonderments, like this.
No, it doesn't. But it puts the fear of God into the motherfuckers that want to take over and look after this country for the next fucking 100 years. Yeah. All right, and that's what it does do, Si. Yeah. It lets them know the people will not tolerate that kind of fucking bullshit.
And to me, what is the bullshit? I think the bullshit is
the bullshit is hiding the past.
That's it.
Hiding the fucking past, and don't be cunts about it. Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to be cunts about it.
Yeah. And this is why I realized for myself. I often use I have from time to time used the excuse like, well, actually, my parents, I have my grandparents were the first of our mob in Australia. Like my mother is first. Well, actually, both of my.
I'm happy that you're here, brother, because like
my mother's
if your family hadn't come here, I would never know you.
No, I wouldn't exist. But they
you got the high spot.
But so I've often used that as like my cover story. It's sort of like, but I mean, Australia is like it is an abusive racist joint. However, like my father's not even first generation Australian. She's zero. So from his side, I'm first generation. Yeah. For my mother, she's first.
You've eaten enough of the dirt and
she was pregnant on
the water.
She was pregnant. She was created on the ship over here or whatever, and then came to bear. But I guess so I don't have really a part to play in that historical story. However, that's a convenient position. That's also just tries to obfuscate that I have my own racism. That
I have no doubts somewhere in my history of my family being in Australia, that there was more than likely bullshit going on.
Yeah, all sorts of things.
That is an inevitable randomness.
Yeah, like they could have been part of a mission.
Knowing your own family and what's been passed down, right? And and what gets delivered from one
Well,
generation
you weren't
to the
told
next.
it. So at least they weren't proud enough to keep cheering it on.
No. Well, they tried their best to hide it because it is ugly.
Yeah.
It's just like any wound. You're not going to heal it until it's fully exposed, and you fucking take out the taint.
That's it.
And you take out the taint, and then you let it regrow, bro.
That's it. In the
and
sun,
then you've got the
not
clean,
in the darkness where it's all wet and weird.
Where it's going to get all fungus growing on it and mushrooms, where fucking people tripping out over absolute bullshit, but just going, hey, it's exposed, it's done, it's cut out. We've made amends for it. We've said, look, this is just absolutely, we have no connection to that, because that was what the rule of the land was at that time, right? And we are not like that. We aren't people like that.
Well, then you have to be not like that, though.
Yeah. I used to box with Indigenous down on the Gold Coast when I was younger, like after school, when they call you out. Mate, I used to get into punch-ons all the time, but it was never ever like about you or me. It was just building your toughness, early fight club.
So you were Aboriginal, basically, what you're saying.
Fuck yeah, man. I was just as fucking, live off the land type of cunt than anybody else.
I grew up in racist Queensland,
I couldn't care less if there
Queensland.
was no power to mine.
You know the only
the
people
power just completely died.
The only people in Harvey Bay that were not racist towards me were Aboriginals.
Yep, people of the land.
They were the only people
who were not
racist.
Who are Indigenous,
Everyone
true
else
Indigenous, not the racist.
Like all manner of racist.
A true Indigenous
abuse.
person is not racist. They're just part of the land.
Like there was these places where I was told not to go in Harvey Bay because it was dangerous. And I'd go there as a child. And there was no danger there.
You said there was danger there. I'm going to go and have a look.
Well, I don't even think that was right. I was like, what had happened was I was literally told it was dangerous, and I'd already fucking out there. I was like, I didn't know what to say to them. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like whatever I was, like 12, or like listening to this.
They said I couldn't do it, then I would go and do it.
That's where I go and hang out.
Just there?
Because they're nice, a bit safe. Like they're not one's calling me Mexicans or like
no,
or whatever else I got called.
You're the thing of this. Yeah, you're in the moment. That's it.
I'm not saying no Aboriginal people have attempted to rob me. They certainly have. But like
man,
in terms of the malicious level, because it's usually because they're freaking like in a state, man.
Sleazy's always going to be a sleazy, right? If someone says I want a sleazy fitty, then you're getting a sleazy fitty. I don't expect it back. You do what you want.
As opposed to like,
hey, there you go.
Talks like organized behaviours.
There you go. You're a sleazy.
I'd find. I don't know. Like, can it ever end? Can it even?
I'd hope so.
What would it take? Why would it change?
Like you said, I think we need a big boot. There's no, the word. There's no. They don't like talking about that boot. That boot word. The evolution, revolution, they get nervous when they ever revs. Yeah, they just like, oh no, the people are going to speak.
We can't have the people speaking.